Lying in the hallway, cracking up.
Oh. Boy Scouts march. Okay.
Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. Sources I used for my speech was brainyquotes.com, wikipedia.com, Google Images, and Steve Krebs as my interview. Hi, my name is Tyler Krebs, and I'll be talking about John F. Kennedy and his accomplishments that he did during his life. I'll be talking about his accomplishments during his military career, his presidential, during the foreign and domestics of his presidential career. John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born on May 29, 1917. He tried to join the Army but was rejected because of a chronic back pain. When he became of age, he joined the Navy in September of 1941. He went to a motor torpedo boat training center where he learned to do the patrol torpedo boat, also known as the PT boat. While in World War II, his PT boat was rammed by a Japanese destroyer. He gathered the survivors from the wreckage and he told them, "There's nothing in the book about a situation like this. A lot of you men have families and some of you have children. What do you want to do? For I have nothing to lose." So they all voted and they swam to a nearby island, and while they were swimming, one of the fallen was seriously injured, and John F. Kennedy carried him to the island that they swam to, and later he swam to another island where a Navy base from the U.S. was there. For that accomplishment, he was awarded the Marines' most highest award that you could possibly get. He was also awarded a Purple Heart and American Defense Service Medal. Later in October, he was commander of a gunship and was later honorably discharged after the surrender of Japan. Later, a reporter asked him, why did you do it to become a hero? He just simply jokingly replied, "It was involuntary. They sank my boat." During his presidency, he was one of the greatest presidents that we have possibly ever had. He was sworn in as the 35th President of the United States on January 20th, 1961. During this time, he had to deal with the Soviets in Berlin, which he provided the Berlin airlift for them. In a speech to the country, he said, "All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin, and therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner." This means I am a Berliner in German. Also, he had to deal with a more serious crisis near home, which was the Cuban Missile Crisis here in Cuba. As Fidel Castro came to power, he was threatening the U.S., as you can see by this map, with short-range missiles that could engulf Florida and part of Louisiana, medium range, which could get Washington and Texas, and long-range missiles that could reach up to Canada, Mexico, and even to South America. We agreed with Russia and also, Soviet Union and us agreed that we would take down both of our weapons. We would take ours down in Turkey, they would take theirs down in Cuba. And besides the foreign problems, domestic problems arose as well. During the time he was president, the civil rights movement was on. At first, he was distracted by the Bay of Pigs and did not want to get involved in the civil rights movement for fear that the Southern Democrats that were in Congress would reject any ideas of civil rights. He drafted the civil rights bill, and as I said before, Congress was mainly from the South and they would not pass it. But unfortunately, before he could even think about accessing this document into Congress, on November 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, as they were on a parade. He was shot in the back of the head by Lee Harvey Oswald. And I interviewed my dad, and he said Kennedy's assassination was planned, and it had to be a conspiracy. Many people to this day think that JFK's assassination was a conspiracy because no one really knows who fired the kill shot. In all, he was a military war hero, and he was an accomplished president, and he also drafted the Civil Rights Act. This one quote sums up his whole life's work. "A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Thank you.
You got lucky the battery